Hi, Casey Durango here of Go Keto with Casey, and today's little video is about keto road food. You know, a lot of us travel, and even if we don't, sometimes we eat out. I spent a lot of time recently traveling, many different locations, and I'm here to tell you, it is not that hard to eat out. This was lunch at a hotel restaurant in, I believe it was Houston, and very simple. As a matter of fact, when I asked the server about their salad, when I asked him questions, he says, "Oh, you must be doing keto. Let me fix this up for you." So it was grilled chicken and bacon and avocado and greens and blue cheese dressing. The next morning at that same hotel, I believe, was buffet breakfast. Breakfast is pretty easy on keto, frankly. I did ask questions of the servers to make sure that their pre-scrambled eggs were actually eggs and not, made from real eggs and not out of a box, because you never quite know what's going to be in those. So ask questions. Folks are usually very happy to give you an answer. So this was I made omelets and had a lovely, lovely time enjoying that very large breakfast. And if I recall, that meal was my fuel for the day. Delicious bacon, sausage, scrambled eggs, some cheese. It's very difficult to go wrong. We tend to overthink or catastrophize our food when we're traveling. Maybe we're fearful that things will be like when we were sugar burners and we'll get stuck somewhere and get hangry. But when you're burning fat for fuel, for one thing, you can go a long time between fueling, and there's almost always something to find. This was a really nice hotel, and a lovely spread, as you can see. There was salmon and all kinds of meats and cheeses. So that ended up being my breakfast here. Scrambled eggs, a little bit of cheese, a bit of salmon and meat, breakfast meats, and of course, coffee with heavy cream is what I use. Remember, when you're putting in cream, by the way, it's not unlimited, so one does need to be careful. Okay, so that kind of covers breakfast, which is, as I said, generally not that difficult, no matter where you are. Sticking with bacon and eggs is you can't go wrong. Now, my next stop was at a different hotel about a week later, and I got in late. So I went to the bar and I asked for a charcuterie plate, which they had. Charcuterie just means meats and cheeses, and I just said, leave off the breads, and the fellow did. So there are some olives and some hard meats and some cheeses. There was a jalapeno, and I had a glass of wine. Again, very easy. If you ask questions, you can, and if they happen to bring you bread or crackers or croutons, just don't eat them. It's not a big deal, really. And that was, I think, pretty much my meal of that day. It was late in the day, and it topped things off beautifully, and I went upstairs and went to bed. So, again, ask questions. Don't be afraid to make special requests. And, as long as it's not outrageous. If you're going to a fried chicken joint, if you go to KFC and you say, "Can you please give me chicken with no breading?" I don't even know if they serve that. But, pay attention to where you are. Now, also sometimes we don't even really need that much food. This particular day, I was getting some work done. Nice tall coffee with heavy cream. Again, if you ask for heavy cream, very often you'll find that places have it. If they don't have heavy cream, don't freak. Half and half is okay. It's not that big a deal. We don't need to be crazy about all this. And I sprinkled some nutmeg and cinnamon on it and got some work done. Again, we don't have to overthink this too much. Now, when you're fueling at a lovely steakhouse, that's really easy. This was at a place in Oh, I'm sorry, I don't recall. It might have been Dallas or San Antonio. I don't recall. But steak, grilled shrimp, some butter on top. Again, not everyone else, but other people were enjoying baskets of bread and baked potatoes on the side. I just got steak and shrimp, which I couldn't finish, by the way. It was delicious. So they bagged it up. I took it home, or took it back to the hotel, and I think I had it for my midday fuel the next day. Don't recall really. Now, again, I found myself a couple of days later not really needing too much. So, went to the bar. This was a different place at the hotel, and asked for the charcuterie plate, and there we go. Beautiful cheeses and olives and spicy mustard. There were a couple of pecans in there, which I didn't worry about. I popped them in my mouth and enjoyed them. And when you eat like that, you realize that the flavors, my taste buds have changed. So when you bite into an olive when you're not used to eating olives, or a different type of olive, or a different type of cheese, something you may not have chosen to eat before, you may find that you really now enjoy it. I can say that that's the case for me with Brussels sprouts, which were not my favorite before, and liver. And this was the last day of a bit of travel over the course of a month. And this was a midday fuel. It was a restaurant in a mall, and I asked for the burger with no bun, and they happened to actually have a fried egg as an option. That's coleslaw on the side. Some avocado. Again, it was no problem. And I have yet to have a server that looks at me strangely when I ask, please don't bring the fries and don't bring the bun, and maybe give me a fried egg. So ask questions and don't stress over it. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. And for patron-only content, you can check me out at patreon.com/Go Keto with Casey. I make about 20 videos there a month for patrons. Thanks a lot, y'all. Bye.